Hello and welcome. That's right. Thank you for joining me for this community spotlight. So y'all already know. Yes, y'all know that I cheer for you and I challenge you to be your best self and your best self right now. I'm excited about what we're doing in our space, in our community, and you putting yourself first. One of the things we're doing is highlighting some special people in our community so that you will have an opportunity to hear their self first story. You'll be able to hear what they had to do to push beyond, move beyond, push past life to understand the importance of making themselves a priority. Remember, we're going to be talking to members all across our community, and they come from all different areas, different parts of the globe. But I'm excited because this young lady, she is waiting in the wings. She has been a part of this Self First community from day one. Some of you guys have been riding with me from day one, and we are actually getting ready to come up on a big anniversary for the Self First movement community. Some of y'all have been with me when we had conferences. You have been there, and I appreciate you so much. But without further ado, let's see who's going to join us. We'll be right back. Hey, Gwen.
Hello.
I am super excited, guys. Nobody is here other than none other. The lady herself, Miss Gwendolyn Tyus. Yes, yay! Yay, Gwen. Thank you for taking time out of your life, out of your schedule to stop by and have your self first moment and to share your you first story. So, for people who don't know you, just tell us a little bit of who you are and what you get to do so we can get into the goodness of all that self care.
Okay, so I am a teacher, and I am a Sunday school teacher, and I do a lot of things. Like I motivate my friends, I motivate my students. I do a lot of charity. I work at the food bank at my church. So I do a lot of things that keep me really, really busy.
That's so good. That's so good. Now, you heard her, guys. She is an educator. So, any of my educators out there, give her some hearts right there in the comments. Be sure to give me some stars, some likes, and all of that stuff. Let her know that you're excited because we got an educator that's about to share a part of her me first, my first, her self first story. All right, Gwen. So, you know what? We're going to jump right in, right? Because this is your spotlight. It is about you. So, give us a defining moment that led you to putting yourself first.
So my first defining moment was when my mom died. And the last words she told me was, Gwen, you take care of yourself. And at that point, I didn't really know what that meant because she was my life. She was my friend. She was my everything. So what I did was I said, I'm going to first dig deeper in the word. That's what I had to do first. I had to dig deeper in God's word. And I had to find out who I was in Christ. And so then I kept remembering what she kept saying. And until this day, I keep remembering. So I do little things for myself. I may exercise, or I may meditate on a word. I may talk to a friend for a long time. So a lot of times, like I said, my day is like really busy from 5 a.m. to like maybe 7 p.m. People don't know the teacher's grade. We still are on the job when we get home. So it's kind of hard to turn it off. But a lot of times I relax. I may get a hot cup of cocoa and just sit and relax with a book. Again, like I said, from time to time, her words come at me at different periods when I'm going through things. And I'm like, you know what? I got to slow down. One of the things that I did was I lost 85 pounds because I talked to my doctor, and grieving for her made me put on so much weight. So I talked to my doctor and he said, look, you're going to have to lose this weight. He said, because if you want to keep living on this journey, you're going to have to watch your blood pressure. Those are things that I never even considered. I never watched my blood pressure. I never watched what I ate. I just always took it in consideration. Hey, I'm going to be here. But talking to him, it made me change my way of eating, my way of thinking, my way of even when I go to the grocery store, what I pick out. So a lot of things, like I said, what she said to me, it always come back to me. And it feels so good to have lost 85 pounds.
Yes.
Because I was tipping at 350 and carrying on. So a lot of that was grief of, and she's been gone a long time and I still grieve sometimes, but I always remember what she says. And I go back and I do something for me every day that will get me through the day. Like right now, I have a positive journal. So every day after work, I come home, I write something positive of the day. It could be something at school. It could be something on the road when I'm driving. It could be anything positive, because that's what I try to do.
Yeah, I love that. And wow, when I think about the weight of losing a loved one,
Yes.
especially a mother, that's a
Mm,
lot. That's a
yeah.
lot. So I
Yeah.
appreciate your vulnerability. I appreciate your transparency in
Yeah.
thinking about that. And that's important when we think about some of the words and how impactful they could be on our life, even if it's not in
Mhm.
the present day, but even in years to come, the things that people could say to us to help us along, make
Yes.
ourselves a priority. And always hearing that whisper of what your mom said, those are the things that I hear definitely that are keeping you and that has been
Mhm.
carrying you. So when I think about that, what do you do when you think about what has been some of your biggest challenges as to making yourself a priority? What's the challenge? What has been the challenge? I know you said you come home, you'll journal, you occasionally will talk to one of your girlfriends or so, but what's the challenge? Like what's happening? What's been a challenge in really sticking and staying with that? Talk to us about that.
So the biggest challenge is when I get home, not to pick up any work. That's the biggest challenge, because we're teachers. We're on 24/7. I mean, most people think because we get the summer off, we're just relaxing, but we're actually getting ready for September. So the biggest challenge is not to pick up any work. And so the first thing that I do is I try to get that healthy meal in, because a lot of times dinner is the hardest part for me to eat. I can do breakfast, I can do lunch, but when I get home for dinner, that's the challenge, because I can go to McDonald's. I can, and on your way home, the first thing you think is, oh, I really don't feel like eating today, or I just want something quick. So that's my biggest challenge, is trying to get that nutrition in after school. So what I do now is I only eat fast foods once a month. I try once a month, and that's it. Because I need to stick to my steady diet. And I do have a diet journal that I keep. So when I get home, I'm always trying to fix something healthy and then go about writing in my journal about what I've eaten. And then I'll walk around my house, because I have a house where I can walk around in the hallways and through the bedroom. So I can do that. And so a lot of times it's just trying to relax, because a lot of times I'm either teaching. Last Friday we broke up two fights between four girls, and these are things that I don't expect when I go to school. I expect to teach, but a lot of times you have to decompress yourself. And so sometimes I'll just take a minute and sit down and I'll just pray, or I'll just close my eyes, or I'll just relax, or sometimes I'll turn on the TV. I try not to watch too much news because it's depressing. So whatever I do, it has to do something to relax me. I'm not a drinker. I'm not a smoker. Not a gambler. Although being a teacher, I should be all those things. But at the end of the day, I have to come home and I have to take care of me. If I'm taking a shower, a bath, or just sitting, not doing anything. That is what I aim to do, because again, my doctor said I have take off a little more pounds. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take off a little more pounds and just focus in on me. If I write journals, I have journals. I have to focus on me at the end of the day because it's very stressful. You can come home with a headache. I've been sick a couple of times being a teacher around other students. So we have to take care of ourselves, and I do a good job of it.
You better say that. Y'all better give me some love in those comments. Please give her some hearts, some loves. Like I said, her being an educator, she said that was been a challenge to not pick up work. How many times can we say that? We may not be where we're a teacher, but the things that we do, and we're always, and I know I have been guilty myself, my family, to be like, I get off my desktop, but then I'll get on our handheld computers, right? And I'm still working. So those things can be a challenge that can hinder us from keeping ourselves a priority. But I love what you said. It's always taking yourself back. And I heard that you have several types of journals. Hey, hello. One of which is your self first journal. Hello. So I'm excited that you utilize those tools, because it is not only having these things, being faced with these things, but then having the right tools when we are faced with these things. And so having a tool can help us get through, that time when we may feel a little stuck. And I'm glad that you have that as a way to decompress, that way to kind of help you get through those moments. And that's wonderful. So what I would ask you right now is, what is a bit of advice, some wisdom for somebody that says it could be somebody on here, it could be somebody listening that they've lost someone special to them, right? You shared about your mom. They could be a person who, they may have lost weight, but life show up, right? And in different seasons, we lose, we gain, we lose, we gain. I'm in that choir. We lose, we gain. What piece of advice, what wisdom would you like to share with the community right now?
So the wisdom I have is, first of all, you have to take care of yourself first. You have to. We bustle and hustle all day long. But the one thing is, when you get home, the first thing you need to do is take off all of the world. Take it off. Take off the stress, take off the problems, they're going to be there. They're not going anywhere. Take it off. Take off every weight that you have for the whole day. Journal, get a cup of coffee, relax, talk to a friend that is not stressful, because that helps. Also, reflect back on your day and think of the positive things. Start writing down positive things about your day, no negative, because like I said, negative is going to be there all the time. Get a piece of paper, at least write down 10 things positive that happen in one day. Okay, and reflect on that. And then the next day, you're looking for the next 10. I had to share that with a coworker. She was always stressed out, always crying, running in the bathroom, crying, upset. Her class had her all in a tizzy. And I told her, I said, look, you're going to have to go home and you're going to have to write down 10 things or 5, it doesn't matter. Good things that happen in the day. Nothing negative, everything positive. And then reflect on that. And then carry it over into the next day. And I always say the next day is going to be better than yesterday. The next day is going to be better than last week. Or this week is going to be better than last week. You have to stay positive, because if you don't, you'll drown. You will drown.
Woo!
So that is my advice.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And you on top of it. Y'all see why this is an active community member, and she doing it. She is doing the things and we have to even remind ourselves, because life be life, and sometimes life be life in. And it's with that, it's make me think about too, being a part of this community, being a part of this group, rocking with me, and of course helping to carry the banner as it relates to, look, putting yourself first, and making yourself a priority in your life, but recognizing that I want to publicly thank you for recognizing that for yourself, but then also being a support to me and what this is. I like to see it and believe that it is its own ministry. So I thank you for being an active part. I love you. No,
Love you
oh,
too.
I love you. I want to know, and so for somebody who could be even new to this community and they're seeing and saying, "Oh wow, she's been, beyond a online date. No, you've been rocking with Shawanna for a minute
Yeah,
up in here."
yeah.
And I appreciate you. I want you to know I appreciate you. I love you. Look, I'm just so big. I'm elephant big. I'm hippopotamus happy about it. Yeah, that's how big it is, y'all. That's how big it is. I want to know, just, a couple more quick questions. I want to know, how has this community been a benefit to know that this community is here? How has that benefited you? I want to know that.
It has benefited me listening to the other ladies and listening to how they are self-caring for themselves and taking care of themselves. It has really helped me. I've watched you grow and take care of yourself, and I like the advice that the ladies have. So whatever the ladies have, I take it and I run with it, because I am, like I said, busy 24/7. And a lot of times it's just, overwhelming. So when I hear the ladies talk, I take a bit of piece of information and I take it and I use it and I run with it and I go with it. So that's me. I'm a stealer. I'll steal information. I'll steal whatever I need to be happy with myself.
Mm.
So I listen to you and the ladies. And again, I take information, write it down, and apply it to my life, which makes it better for me.
Love it, love it, love it. Ain't y'all loving Gwen? Ain't y'all loving Gwen? But like, we love you, Gwen. I love it, Gwen. Okay, one final thing. If you had a word, what would be your self first word for this year? What's your self first word?
My self first word would be um, important.
Mm.
My life is important. Again, like I said, my doctor, he said you need to lose that weight. He really wasn't saying what I know what he was saying was, listen, you could die early if you don't make your life important. Yes, it's important to have other people's lives be important. But if I'm not here to be important for myself, then I'm no good to anyone else. So for me, I have to have importance in my life, important weight, important goals, important self goals, um, important, even in the community when I go out, I have to have importance for myself. I can always uplift and encourage everyone else, but it is important that I encourage myself, because a lot of times we get down, we get depressed. We act like, oh my goodness, I don't have a guy. I'm not gonna live if I don't have a man. Well, that's not true. It's important to take care of yourself first, because if you can't take care of yourself first, you are no good to anyone else. Remember that.
Woo! See, that means we're gonna have her back so we can talk to all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. I heard her, y'all. Y'all heard that, right? So we gonna have Gwen back to talk about that a little bit. But I want you to know that I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and you. There is no one else that I knew that would be great for this spotlight, for this moment. And I love you. You are a
I love you.
valued member of this community. You are a valued member of this community. And I'm just excited to see what God has already done and what He's going to continue to do in your life, in your life, in your life, in your life. Yeah. So thank you, Gwen. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Love
Yeah.
you too.
Yes, don't go anywhere, Gwen. I'll see you in a moment. Don't go nowhere. Hey, guys, I want to thank you so much for just joining us for this moment, for this self first movement moment, this community member highlight, this spotlight. The next one could be you, right? I want you to know that we appreciate you. As you heard what Gwen already said, she wanted you to know that she listened. She listened at what's going on. She takes that advice. We ain't stealing, we just borrowing it, because what it is, if you are already showing us a path, the things that have worked for you, why wouldn't we want to try it? Because it just might work for us. So continue. That means you heard what she said. That means she needs to see more from you. She needs to hear more from you. And so that those are other things that she can incorporate with what she's doing. So she told you so many things. It's like, write it down. Gratitude is my not so secret sauce. I say it all the time because you can't get enough of being grateful, right? But also having that person that's a positive person, not a yes person, but a positive person that you can kind of iron sharpens iron. Who is that person to help keep you sharp, right? Look for those people in your life. Be in a season of understanding and knowing that it is okay to set boundaries and start even setting boundaries with yourself. Part of her boundary setting, she said it, she admitted it in that setting a boundary with not picking up work. You heard her. So just look at this thing, think about it. And if you got questions, you already know how to find me. Let us know. Say it in the comments. We're going to be looking, we're going to be watching, and we want you to know that we appreciate you. But this has been beautiful. You could be that next community member that we're looking for to spotlight. So remember, I'm Shawanna Kennedy. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. And we see you again on the next member spotlight.
Control.